Hey, what's going on, you guys? Mr. Money1235 back here yet again for another album review. Maroon 5. So yeah, I've been out of the review game for a little while, but I thought it was about time to come back and talk about probably a hugely anticipated album for a whole lot of people out there. Not me necessarily, because I've never been a huge Maroon 5 fan. I've really enjoyed Songs About Jane, and especially It Won't Be Soon Before Long. Man, that album made up a ton of my freaking high school career. But, this is a whole lot of a better return to form, in my personal opinion. I've been seeing a whole lot of reviewers just, like, shitting all over the hell over this thing for some reason. I recently saw a review where some people were trashing the lyrics of the album. Of this pop album. Trashing the lyrics of a pop album. A pop album. Okay, first of all, I don't know what the fuck y'all were expecting. It's a pop album. The lyrics are not gonna be the smartest fucking thing on planet Earth, for God's sake. I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck you were expecting. This is some type of magnum opus? Some fucking genius, creative-ass songwriting in here? It's a pop album. Maroon 5 started out great, they put out Overexposed, and now they just don't give a fuck anymore, okay? In any case, I seem to be the only one on the fucking internet who actually really likes this album. No, I was not expecting much at fucking all from this record. I really enjoyed the song Maps, and honestly, I didn't think this album was going to be able to follow up with it at all. And then the next single, Animal, came out, which I also thought was actually pretty damn good, and it makes up for the first two tracks on this album, by the way. Animal kind of brings back that sexual tension type of mood that Maroon 5 has going for them. Nothing on this album has as much sexual tensions as songs like This Love or anything like that, but I do think this album is pretty disco-y, kind of has some influences going in and out of there, and I think it's pretty good. After the first two singles of this album, we move on to the third song, It Was Always You, which kind of takes a part in this whole 80s revival thing that people seem to be going for on a whole lot of recent albums. This 80-influenced synthesizer with a really catchy chorus and a really catchy beat, it just makes for this really cool song, and I'm personally a huge fan of it. It kind of has these cool dark minor chords about it in that chorus and stuff like that. It's just a really fast-moving track. One of my personal favorites, honestly. And then you have the song on Kiss Me, which is like one of the very first slow songs of the record, and it's also really good. It has this really cool climbing chorus. It's really loving and really cheesy, just like a whole lot of Maroon 5 lyrics are. It's still not a bad song at all whatsoever, though. Moving on to the next song on this album called Sugar, which is another one of my favorites. Really disco flavor, really fun song. Musically, it sounds a whole lot like Katy Perry's Birthday, so if you're into that kind of thing, you'll probably really enjoy this song. I don't even think Birthday is that bad of a song, honestly. I guess that's why this kind of appeals to me. But I'm really enjoying this song as well. Another one of my favorites on the record, honestly. I just love it. It's a really cool guilty pleasure. Yeah, this is one that people have been criticizing the lyrics on. And honestly, it's a pop album. I don't know what the fuck were you expecting, really? This is not some fucking John Lennon master songwriter shit going on in here. The next song on this record, Leaving California, this is another really down-tuned track. This is definitely where the album starts getting a little bit slower and a little bit more kind of wavering, teetering off the edge of something forgettable, something not, kind of, I don't know. This song is really average to me, is what I'm trying to say. The song is not bad by any means, I just feel like the tracks that were preceding it were a whole lot better. The next song, In Your Pocket, it kind of stays on the same course as Leaving California did. It's another really kind of slower-ish song, with some really cool instrumentation right there at the very beginning, but I'm just not really sure what instrument is playing that. It sounds really good, though. It's like the plucking of some strings on some instrument, and it sounds really good. It's a really cool way to begin this track. This song also has a really cool chorus along with it, really memorable, something that places it a little bit higher than Leaving California for me personally. Then the next track on this album, New Love, this one also seems to be a little bit forgettable to me personally, but once again, it's not a bad song necessarily. In album context, it sounds a whole lot better, just like the rest of these tracks. While you're listening to the album, this is not necessarily some songs that you're going to skip or anything like that. They're just not as good as the first half. I'm just so on the fence with them. I don't hate anything, is the point I'm trying to make. One thing that's a little weird that I have seen people talk about in other reviews that I kind of agree with is Adam's falsetto, especially on this track, New Love, sounds very strange. It's like he's almost hitting a note that he can't quite hit, and I think you guys will be able to hear it if you hear the track as well. It sounds really weird for him, that's all I'm gonna say. Then on the next track, Coming Back For You, we go back into the 80s once again, a really 80s synthesizer going on in there. And we kind of get back on track on the album now, and I really, really love this song. Really dancey, really fun chorus, really empowering, really overly cheesy love song. You know, that's just what Maroon 5 does, and it sounds really good. I really enjoy this track. Then the next track on this album, Feelings, might possibly be my favorite song on the album. Just a really upbeat, really 80s influenced, once again, really cool, just fucking jamming song. God, it's just so upbeat, so happy. I've got these feelings. Once again, Adam's falsetto does sound a little bit strange. It sounds like he's trying to hit some note that he can't quite get to, but for some reason, I think that weird-ass falsetto kind of fits in this song for some reason. It sounds like he's just kind of going along with the energy of the song. I don't really mind it, is what I'm trying to say. And I think this song is just awesome. I think it's one of the best songs of the album, one of the most fun songs on the record. I love Feelings. Feelings is really good. It gives me good feels. And then the last track on the album, My Heart Is Open. This track features Gwen Stefani on vocals as well, and it's just like a slow piano ballad that they kind of go back and forth on. Not really the most exciting way to close an album, but it's not necessarily bad either, and it's also one of my least favorites on the album, I'll be totally honest. But it's not bad by any means. So yeah, I mean, I don't love everything on this album, but I didn't necessarily hate anything either. It's just totally average. Honestly, if the second half of this album was as good as the first half, I would consider probably picking it up. But honestly, I don't feel like it's quite there yet, but it's still not bad. I have no idea what the hell people are bitching about. I mean, once again, it's Maroon 5 kind of following that trend of taking like 80s synthesizer style and incorporating into their music and creating some more cheesy love songs. And that's just what Maroon 5 does. And it sounds good. It sounds fine. Sure, I miss It Won't Be Soon Before Long, probably my favorite thing that I've heard from them, honestly, because the song, you know, Wake Up Call, oh my god, it's so much fucking fun. One of my favorite songs from them. I think they had it going on so good with that song. Anyway, whatever. Let's just not get off topic here. It's good. It's good. If you're a Maroon 5 fan, you're gonna love the fuck out of this. I see no reason why you wouldn't if you're a Maroon 5 fan. But that's just my opinion on it. I don't know what people were expecting out of this thing. It's a pop album. Idiots. Okay, whatever. This is Running 1, 2, 3, 5. I'll see you guys later.